And welcome back for another prep here. So, Globex kind of pulled the same move it did on Sunday evening as far as, liquidating what was very poor structure left behind on our daytime frame. So we saw a similar activity on Friday, right? Friday, we had really poor structure. Sunday night came back, retook it all right into support, and then we rallied. Once again, we saw the same thing happen. Very poor structure again, leading our way up in the pit hours. And then Globex does the same kind of liquidation move, and then it gets bought up again, repairing some of the structures. So as we continue to move up here, a couple of things I'm looking for as far as potential signs of potential change is I'm starting to look for, poor references, weak highs, poor highs, so on and so forth, and seeing if the buyers are actually going to get stuffed at this all-time high yet again, which has happened over and over again where, we break to these all-time highs, we kind of trade sideways for a while, and then, you get a liquidation that's immediately bought up. So kind of looking for the same kind of reaction. I think as long as we stay above 76, 78 level, staying on the long side is probably the right side for now, and just playing the rotational type market. Likewise, I think as long as we continue to try and push towards our all-time high and fail, I think it's very easy to fade that as an extreme as well, and just kind of play it as a balanced, a balanced range up here for now. As it seems to be, if you're to look at the auctions, you have an auction up on Friday, auction down late Sunday, auction up starting on Sunday to yesterday's high, and then auction down in the Globex session. Now we're trying to do an auction up. So when you take the overall auction status of the overall market, we're just in a balance range right now. So fading the extremes would be the best opportunities. Trading inside, this middle section is probably going to be the worst opportunities and probably cause a lot of chop and headaches. So that's kind of what I'll be looking for in the ES. Keep in mind, there's some big earnings released tonight at the close, as well as we have the Fed announcement again tomorrow. So quite a bit going on today as far as the markets go. There's also a couple of interesting numbers today that may or may not impact the market. The MAN index and consumer confidence are hit at the top of the hour after the open. Could cause an interesting reaction. We'll have to wait and see. I don't really think it will, but good to be aware that those numbers are there and can potentially do something. So that's at the start of B period today. So as far as ES goes, I'm just looking to fade the extremes. We'll see where the market trades to. I'm looking to get long against 76, 78, and I'm looking to fade, anywhere against all-time high that doesn't accelerate and continue higher. Looking over at RTY. So RTY has kind of stuck itself in a nice little balance range here for a few days. They're fighting over this 2210 level. Yesterday, it did look early like they potentially were going to catch the stops and run it. They did get above the previous high, but were unable to break above the 21-day moving average. This is working as resistance right now. So as I'm monitoring this, I still believe 2160 is a potential pullback zone where I think stronger buying is waiting for it. So I'm waiting to see if that's going to take place. Otherwise, I'm continuing to monitor how we respond and react in this 02 to 2210 level. As I'm reading it right now, the market is really having troubles finding itself a natural bid above it. It's having troubles getting above it and staying above it. It has looked above it a few times. It's looked into it a few times, but it's not quite able to find a buyer who's willing to trade it above and away from that level. So until that takes place, I think the odds are going to continue to favor a pullback towards 2160, 2162, 55, somewhere in that range, at which I would expect them to, find a stronger buyer in that location. That may happen, today, may not happen until the Fed hits tomorrow, who knows? But that's what I'm watching for in R2Y. If they can find a bid above 2210, I want to be long. I'm not really looking to fade the market unless they get below 2160 with aggressive seller. Otherwise, I'm waiting for 2160 to potentially get long if a buyer steps in. So that's where I'm at with R2Y today. We'll see if we find any trades on it. Right now, I just don't think it's going to be exceptionally tradable. Taking a quick look over here at NQ. So NQ, very clear resistance is forming up here just above the 15100 number. I have it from about 115 to 126. So that's an area I'm going to monitor as well coming into today. If they continue to struggle to really find a buyer I'm willing to fade NQ, even with some of the big earnings that happened last night, and leading into some of the bigger ones today. I think if you are going to fade NQ, it needs to be early in the day and only early in the day. I think if you start to look to fade this market as you get closer and closer to the close, where you have Apple reporting, and who else reporting today? Google and or Alphabet, sorry, and Microsoft, I believe. So you have some pretty big players that will be reporting today. I think you're playing with fire if you're looking to be on the short side of NQ later in the day. I think an opportune trade is we open and fail immediately off this level for a potential failed liquidation down to at least these lows, which are clear and obvious mechanical support. So kind of what I'll be watching today. Keep in mind, yesterday's profile did not look very complete to the upside. It looks like there could be continuation. It looked more like a stem body without the excess on the high. So that's kind of something to keep in mind too. If NQ does start to go, look for the potential to complete this and a cross back over of this 116 to 126 level that's working as resistance right now. So as I'm also looking at NQ, keep in mind, I haven't gone into the dailies very much today, so not really much to talk about, but keep in mind how we've been talking about this upper trend line of this kind of channel area, and the fact that NQ really does struggle to find a buyer above there. It's showing right now on the profile, so it is something we can use to our advantage as the market continues to trade. But for me, I'm not looking to be long NQ early, especially. Maybe, no, not even probably at all today, to be honest with you. I'm looking to potentially fade any failure above this resistance level, but only early in the day. I think that, like I said, the closer you get to earnings reports, especially in ES as well, keep in mind, if you're looking to fade ES late, you're probably going to fade against, a late rally of some sort, given to say that you got to expect some sort of excitement to start to boil over as it gets closer to the release of kind of the big dogs earning reports. So that being said, like I said, I would be mindful of the fact that we have a number at, the top of the hour when B opens. And from there, we'll have to wait and see. So if you're interested in signing up for profile series, by all means, www.tradeuptradingroom.com. There's a tab there with some information regarding it. If not a big deal. I will check you guys again tomorrow, and we will see where we're at heading into the Fed. All right, trade well, trade safe, and I will see you guys again.